Yeah, it's great. It's always sad when you play the last home game of the year. It's a little more disappointing that that was the result of that game, and we don't get to play in the postseason this year. That's always a tough pill to swallow, and yeah, we do appreciate the fan support, and we're sorry that we couldn't give them a better showing this season.
Big night for you personally. To rack up the goals, get close to a milestone of 40 goals.
Yeah, it's honestly, I was just getting, some games you get your looks. Some games you get your looks and don't score. Or some games you get your looks and you manage to squeak some in. So I think that was the case for me tonight. Honestly, it's cool if I do get there, but at the end of the day, it's like, we have a finite amount of years to play at this high of a level, and not playing in the postseason it's heart-wrenching. You only have X amount of years left. I don't know how long my body will hold up, so I'll take playing a playoff game next week over a 40-goal year any year.
You've had so many close games this year. You battled back tonight to make it 8-8 before they kind of pulled away in the last quarter there. How much confidence does that give you, knowing how close you were this year? You have a couple of high draft picks coming up, that you can bounce back as early as next season?
I think you've seen it with a lot of other teams, a lot of other games going on outside of just us. There's so much parity in the league. Anybody can beat anybody, and unfortunately, we're at the losing end on a lot of close games, 6 or 7 one-goal games, right? I think it was. So, we can talk about that all we want, but I think it's shown some glaring holes in our game as a team, and I think we're gonna have the right pieces there and the right mindset going into next year. So. You can't fix something if you don't know it's broken, and I think we figured that there are areas of our game that we can collectively improve.
Every team goes through injuries, but it just seems for you guys like you had a different lineup every night, and it's very hard to get that continuity when you're playing with different guys.
Yeah, lacrosse is a bit of a unique sport where you're ending your NLL season and then you're playing summer ball. Guys go play in the PLL. Senior B, Senior A, so you're always playing with different guys. And, yeah, when you want to be a super successful team, having that continuity is important. We got bit with the injury bug. It happens. It's happened to some of the best teams in the league. It's happened to every team at one point or another. So we just got the short end of the stick this year with that specifically.
You have one game left in the regular season. When you look back on it over the summer and reflect on this year, what are some memories and high points that you're going to have for yourself, Chris?
Myself personally, from a productivity standpoint, I gained a lot more confidence this year. I've had some good years in this league, and just showing myself that I'm consistently improving is important for me in all areas of my life, not just lacrosse. So I think a positive upward trend is always good to see. And as for the team, it's to most people, I think it looked like we took a step back, but I really do think that you do need to rebuild the foundation of something every once in a while in order to really blossom as a successful team. And I think next year is going to be a really great year. I honestly really do.
Yeah, you said it. It's not the year we wanted, but our fans have been great. They've stuck with us the entire season. Every time we've been in this arena, it's been packed. They're cheering loud. They're into it. So, we haven't really given them the most to cheer about all season, but yeah, it means so much that they've stuck it out with us and continue to support us.
You personally had a huge milestone tonight, first 40-goal season. Obviously not the season you wanted overall, but how does that feel to hit the 40-goal mark?
Yeah, I would trade it to be in the playoffs. I would be lying if I didn't say that, but it is cool, to look at some of the other Rock 40-goal scorers and to be in the same sentence as some of those guys is pretty cool and pretty special. So, yeah, obviously the season hasn't really gone the way we want. Like I said, I would trade it to be in the playoffs, but yeah, it is pretty cool.
Obviously this season is a disappointment, but what gives you optimism that maybe this was just a blip and you guys can bounce back as early as next year? And if there's one area that management could address in the offseason, what would it be for you?
Yeah, we've had a lot of things go wrong this year, whether it be injuries, things go one way in a 1-goal game, which has completely shifted our record. But yeah, like, we're gonna compete next year. We got some high draft picks, so I'm sure that'll help the team, and yeah, just continuing to gel with the boys. As far as areas of concern, that's not really a question for me to answer. I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, we're just going to continue to grow as a group. We're not going to be the same group next year, right? You have core people, but things always change. So just take it game by game, day by day in the off season, and just try to be better and be in a better position to compete next year.
Guys' mantra kind of this year was that never say die, resilient attitude. Is that something you guys can take into next year as well?
For sure. I mean, I think this year will benefit us big time going into next year, right? Like in the past, we've been in the playoffs and haven't really had to deal with adversity like this. So I'm sure it'll just make us even more hungry to work hard in the off season and come back in better shape, ready to turn this thing around next year.